Brooklyn Independent Television.
Smoking is bad for your health. We all know this, even those of you who are smokers. But who is a quote-unquote smoker? Certainly not the man or woman who just lights up once a day or so, right? Well, yes. Out in Bay Ridge, we join a doctor and his patient as the subject of cigarettes comes up.
I'm Dr. Lucchese.
Nice to meet you.
So tell me why you're here.
I felt like I had a cough or something coming on, like maybe some sort of a chest cold or something.
Okay.
I just wasn't sure where it was coming from.
Okay, and how long has that been going on for?
For about 3 days now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll have to listen to your lungs and we'll see how that... Just take some deep breaths in and out through your mouth. Good. Let me ask you, do you smoke?
No.
No? Because I could smell it on you.
I had a cigarette last night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how much do you smoke?
Maybe 1 or 2 cigarettes a day.
Okay. So do you know the problems that there are even with smoking 1 or 2 cigarettes a day?
Yeah.
A lot of times people who smoke in just social situations don't even consider themselves smokers. Even the people who are educated about smoking, there's a lot of people who believe if they don't smoke that much, even just a cigarette or 2 or 3 a day, that does not associate it with detrimental effects. When indeed it really is. Even 1 cigarette a day is much too much. Have you ever tried to quit?
I have. It's really difficult, and unfortunately, I only smoke about 1, maybe 2 cigarettes a day.
Right, so you can't use things like the patch and the gum because those are much stronger. Even the lowest dose of the patch is geared for somebody that smokes about a half a pack of cigarettes a day. So for you, if you put the patch on, you probably feel very anxious and that would be much too strong for you. Yeah. The symptoms for even light smokers, unfortunately, they may not see them. So it depends upon your lungs and how it reacts to it. You may have a lot of coughing, you may not. So even people who have no symptoms whatsoever from their casual smoking are still doing harm to their body. It's almost like somebody who's walking around with elevated blood pressure. If it's just mildly elevated, they call hypertension, high blood pressure, the silent killer, because people don't know that they're doing harm to their body. The casual, rare cigarette smoker could be the same way, which is very dangerous.
So what does a person like me do?
Well, what you try to do, what is the cigarette, what is the time of the day that you like? They're the people's favorite cigarettes. There's when they first get up in the morning, after they have a big meal.
That's mine.
The last time they go to...
cigarette with the coffee.
Okay, so that's sort of a ritual, and that's something that you have to try to change.
Okay. Definitely if you're out drinking, if you're out at a bar, if you're out at a club, if you're out with people that smoke, it's sad to say that at this age you still suffer from that peer pressure. You're out with people that smoke and you feel compelled to want to smoke along with them, as much as you know that it's not good for you, and whether or not you've quit, you say, what's one more cigarette?
People tend to be very vulnerable, and again, this is not just with smoking cigarettes, this has to do with a lot of addictive behavior. You're at your most vulnerable during certain periods of time, and to make it easy to remember, they call it HALT. So H-A-L-T. So you're very vulnerable when you're excessively hungry, when you're angry, when you're lonely, and when you're tired. Okay. So you could anticipate that.
One of the biggest concerns that I've had with trying to quit is withdrawal symptoms, because the last time that I tried to quit, I really went through some serious withdrawal.
Okay, what did you feel?
I had a headache, I couldn't sleep, I felt really anxious and just, jittery all the time for at least about a week.
Okay, and that just shows you how much of an addiction something like nicotine can have on your body. Okay. You might want to avoid caffeinated products, or if you drink a cup of coffee, 2 cups of coffee, you might want to try to drink 1 cup of coffee or no coffee whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Other things you could do to try to relieve that anxiety feeling is, if obviously weather permitting, you can go outside, take a nice long walk, do something normally that might get you a little bit tired, so that at night you don't have the caffeine, you've been walking outside, you've been a little bit more active that day, and then that might help you to fall asleep a little bit better. That actually might last for several days.
Okay.
The other point is that even if you go several days without smoking, sometimes people will try and it'll take them quite a while to completely stop smoking. They might do it over the course of several months. Even a day without smoking is better than a day that's smoking one cigarette. So those are little victories that you should be proud of yourself for. Sometimes we're too hard on ourselves, and we don't appreciate the effort that we're giving. So you might go a week or 2 weeks and then have that cigarette. We'll just jump right back on the bandwagon and stop again.
Thank you very much. I appreciated all of the advice that you gave me, and I'm going to, try to take those things into consideration and be mindful of where I go, who I go with, and try to be mindful also of those trigger moments when I'm most likely to want to have a cigarette. So I'm just hoping that, it works, and that if it doesn't, that, eventually, hopefully something will come out on the market that could help people like myself.
I think that just you understanding how detrimental even one cigarette a day can be is a big step in the right direction. And you accepting that and believing that, it's an important step in quitting smoking. I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
Follow us on Twitter at BK Independent TV.